it's really quite a common theme of people that come and see us for lessons, that they're really quite focused on placing this club into what they perceive as correct positions on a backswing. But what it's doing is it's really interfering with their ability to rotate naturally and efficiently on the way back, because their body is more responding to their intention of placing this club in their perceived ideal places to create a golf swing. But it's limiting them both for speed and therefore potential distance, but also it can often be limiting them in the kind of space they can access, which would be important for different shot shapes. So what I want to do is just take you through a very easy way of exploring and accessing your natural rotation for your backswing. And the reason I say natural rotation for your backswing is because you may have done this in the past yourself, or I'm sure you've seen it down a driving range where you've got some sticks and trying to get some 45 degrees and 90 degrees and stuff like this. And that's fine, it can help people, no doubt, but perhaps it's not really accessing your body's intuitive and natural way that it wants to rotate. So, how do we access the natural, intuitive way to rotate? Well, firstly what we do is we put these to one side, and secondly, we just forget about golf for the moment, because often all the information we've had in the past, whether it be conscious or not, is in there somewhere, and it's going to affect our movement. But if we can, we just want to drop any thought of golf for this part of the exercise. And what we are going to do is just be, wherever you are, aware of our surroundings. So have a look around, and if you're inside, pick something behind you, ideally pretty much directly behind you, but also maybe a couple of feet above your head. What I'm going to use is the join where the back wall meets the ceiling in the back of this bay. If you're outside, maybe pick a cloud or the top of a tree or anything like that, just a reference point that is behind you. And what I want you to do is just relax and stand normally, don't think about golf. And what we're going to do is...
Hi guys, the GRF Travel Club is revisiting the Glory Resort. We're in Turkey from the 10th to the 15th of March, 4-star venue, amazing courses, 5 nights, 4 days of coaching with myself and one of the GRF staff, plus on the course with our GRF Tour player, Mark Foster. We've got 6 places, guys. Follow the link in the description and we look forward to seeing you there.
Pretend that someone has just called our name from behind us in that reference point you've just picked out that is behind and slightly above. And now just stand nice and relaxed and pretend someone's just called your name. Oi, George. And what you're going to do is you're just going to let the eyes go first, and pretty quickly, in whatever way your body wants to, just turn to have a look at where that voice came from, and the voice came from the reference point that you've picked out. George. Do this a few times. And now what we're going to do is we're going to hold that place, but when we're holding that place, once we've rotated back to look where the voice came from, we're actually then going to bring our thoughts back to golf and just bring the head back around to look at the pretend golf ball that we're addressing. So off you go, oi George, and now I'll bring my head back round, but I still can't see that golf ball unless I really strain my eyes like this. So now what we can do is just tilt that shoulder down until it feels easy to look at the pretend golf ball in front of us. And now we're just going to recognise some of the features of this rotation that we've just created. So I can very much feel that the pressure in my right foot is back towards the heel, and the pressure in my lead foot, my left foot as a right-hander, is more in the forefoot. And that opposing pressure is helping me to rotate, especially on that right side as the pressure goes back through the foot towards the heel. That helps the ankle rotate. So I'm getting actually some rotation from my ankle. It's not all about shoulders and chest, it's the whole body that's doing this. And remember, we've unlocked this naturally by just looking behind us We're not thinking about golf, but now we are thinking about golf when we want to look back at the ball, and that has brought this shoulder down. It's given me some left side lateral flexion, some lead side lateral flexion. I'm just a right-hander. So I've got the pressure in my right heel and my left forefoot. Notice my knee, my hip are both extended on my right side, so my right side is really long, but actually my left side is quite short. I've got a bit of knee flexion, a bit of hip flexion, a bit of left side lateral flexion as well. We don't need to try and create this, because remember, you've just created it naturally by doing this. So just recognise some of these features. Now that we've got a sense for this, you can sort of maybe let your arms just swing with it. Notice how your body movement makes your arms react. And this is critical actually, because, and in fact, I did a video a few weeks ago, and maybe if I do this, or this, or this, or this, our editor can put a link to that video about how you can just let your arms react to your body movement, and combine that with this video, where we are just rotating naturally and letting the arms react. And now we've got a good sense for this, now we can come back to golf properly and bring in a golf club. And what I'd suggest you do is start back here and just with the wrists, let the club swing forward. And once it's swung forward, then we can get busy with the body to explore that backswing rotation, but without the head going, because we've practiced that. So we had it with the head going, and then we did it with the head going, but then bringing the head back and tilting the shoulder so that we can see it, and we've recognised what this backswing rotation feels like. So we're just going to go to that space again with a golf club in our hands. So start back here, swish it forward for a bit of momentum, and then use that same mechanism you just used to explore that backswing rotation. And you might be surprised at how much more you're rotating than you have done in the past, perhaps when you're thinking about where the club should be. Just carefree, swing it forward and then swish it back, using all that rotation you've just unlocked naturally. And now, why might this be important? Why might this be relevant in a golf swing? Well, if we are throwing it back with the body, this golf club, really, if you combine it with my video of a few weeks ago, I'll point here again to stick in a link for the editor, the arms are just going to react to the body movement. And because we're stood to the side of a ball, and there are different shaft angles for these different clubs, I've got a 7-iron in hand here, if we are just letting the arms react to that natural body movement, the sort of geometry of the golf swing is going to take care of itself, really. So I could just here, I'm not going to play a shot here, but I'm going to do that exercise again, just with the ball in front of me, where I swish it forward and then let myself access all that rotation on the way back. So again, swish it forward, let that rotation take care of itself. And notice this club access this space kind of behind me. Like I was saying, the geometry kind of takes care of itself, really. Sometimes when we're placing the club in these spaces and we're not really accessing our natural rotation, it can be limiting in the space we can access for different golf shots. Because if we're not really rotating very much on the way back, the arms are probably going to start to ride up like this. You might see some collapse and stuff like this. I don't really want to go into that. But if we're not rotating very much on the way back, this club is sort of more in front of me, if you like, with a really quite a steep shaft angle. And from here, I'm going to find it very difficult to swing more to the right of my target. If I wanted to play a draw, I'll find it very easy to swing to the left if I want to play a fade, and that's fine. But if I want to open up both left to right and right to left, for me to access that space out to the right, for me as a right-hander, to play a draw, it's going to be so much easier coming from this space behind me, that natural rotation has opened up, rather than having not much rotation at all, club more in front of me and easy to work it left, but if I wanted to swing a club to the right of my target from there, very difficult, or I'm going to have to do some super funky things in my downswing to get it. So hopefully this opening up more rotation on the way back might actually be a key for you accessing different space on the way through. Now when we are playing a golf shot, of course, we probably don't want to throw it forward first, because what that's doing is it's giving us momentum for our body to react to. What we could do instead is have the club head behind the ball and have a forward press. So if I do it this way, you'll see, instead of me actually throwing the club head forward, what I'm doing is I'm just allowing the handle to go forward, just to give me that bit of momentum so that I can then react to the momentum that I created that way to go this way. And guess what? Talking about reacting to momentum, if we throw this club back, it gives the body a sense of where it is. It can feel the swing weight of the club. There's inertia placed on the system that the system can then respond to. When we throw a ball a long way, we don't go really slow and methodical back, because then we've got to create a big sequence from back here. What we do is we really throw the arm back, and what that does is it gives us the ability to then change direction, get some real stretch in the system, and then just let it go. And that's what this backswing is going to do for you. If we can throw the weight of this club back using our natural body rotation, it is going to want to recoil back in the opposite direction. Forward press, get some momentum towards the target so you can get lots of momentum away from the target, and then it'll just nice recoil back and play your nice golf shot. So give it a go. Just turn and look at your mate. And then look back down at the ball and recognise the features of your rotation. Because what I've described to you in this video is some of the features of my rotation, but everyone is different. You're going to find out the best way of rotating for you. And what it's going to do is potentially give you more rotation, easier rotation without having to think about it, and maybe open up some different space. So play around with it, accessing that natural backswing rotation that's going to hopefully give you some more speed. Don't worry about where this club is. If you're letting your arms react to your body, the geometry of the swing will sort itself out. You just need to naturally rotate. Hopefully it'll give you a bit more speed, but also if you're not able to currently access that space to swing to the right, hopefully more rotation on the way back is going to make it easier to access that space you need to play a draw. Let me know how you get on in the comments.